Greetings, rock stars. How y'all doing? I hope you are doing well. Wherever you find yourself on this beautiful day. Where I am, it is Thursday, also known as Jupiter Day. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It is our source of expansion, and Jupiter is represented by the color purple. I won't say yellow. By the color purple. So purple is bringing together of the red and the blue. It also symbolizes royalty. So those are all some fascinating things about the color purple, in case you didn't know. But actually today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys and let you know about kombucha. So, or however I know different people pronounce it different ways, but that's how I pronounce it. It is what it is. So, if you have an issue with sugar, like you know, some people specifically in America are addicted to sugar, that is intentional. And so let me just back up just a second. So parasites, as we learned in school, are organisms that require the energy of another organism in order to survive. It cannot survive on its own. It needs a host because it feeds off the host, and it feeds off the hosts, and it literally sucks the blood or the life force energy. The blood is the life force, right? So it literally sucks the life force from the host in order to ensure its own survival. Now, this is not to demonize parasites, because, you know, it is what it is, right? It's all a part of the circle of life. However, parasites in the gut can cause all sorts of issues, and they can, you know, as you know, we get these concepts of things like vampires, right? When you think about bloodsuckers, right? And so with parasites, they I'm sorry, y'all, I got distracted because anyway, got distracted. So with parasites, they can it can change the personality of the host. So, and I know that may sound bizarre, but look it up, do some research on it. But a parasitic infestation can actually change the behavior of a host. So you want to make sure that you are not hosting any parasites in your body, because a lot of people walk around with parasites and all sorts of things attached to them, and they're not aware of this. So one of the things that can happen is, for example, this is where I was going to get to the standard American diet. And I'm sure you guys have heard this before. If not, you know, then here it is. But the standard American diet is called the SAD diet, SAD, SAD. And that's very telling, because a lot of Americans are sad, depressed, anxious, always, you know, heightened sense of, you know, fear, things like that. That is intentional, right? That is a part of the standard American diet. And I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about your diet, everything that you consume, from what you hear to what you see to what you ingest in your environment, all of these things, and to, of course, to what it is that you eat. So all of these things are part of the diet, right? And so the standard American diet is SAD, which explains why there is such a heightened energy of mental health issues and emotional instability. So let me say this. If you have emotional and mental health issues and you have an ongoing doctor, continue to see your doctor. This is in no ways me telling people to stop seeing your doctor or doing whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that you are physically, mentally, and emotionally balanced, right? Now, what I am going to say is this. There are natural things and things that we can do in order to ensure, one, that we are not suffering from a parasitic infection, or infestation, I should say, and secondarily, to make sure our gut health is in balance. Now, one of the things about the standard American diet is very, very high sugar, very, very high sugar intake. Now, sugar feeds bacteria, if you didn't know that. So sugar feeds bacteria, causes bacteria to grow. Not all bacteria is bad bacteria. We need bacteria, right? However, an overgrowth of bacteria can cause issues, right? It can cause yeast infections, women, men also. It can cause things like oral thrush on your tongue. It can cause things like eczema. It can cause all sorts of skin maladies. These are just some of the things that can happen from an overgrowth of bacteria in the body, and everything starts in the gut, right? Because that's, your mouth is a portal, right? Your mouth is a portal, one portal down your throat, right? And into your gut, which is your home in essence, right? And so you're building this ecosystem inside of your gut. So what can happen is the gut can become overrun with parasites, overrun with bacteria. And like I said before, so much of these things can actually begin to change the personality of the person because they're literally being fed on from the inside. And you don't know it because it's literally in what you're eating every single day or what you're ingesting every single day. And you don't know it because you can't see it, right? Because remember, we're talking about microscopic organisms so if you are experiencing either an increase in your sugar intake that's not normal for you, you very well could have a parasite that is attached to you that is causing you or wanting you to eat more sugar, right? Or to consume things or do things that are not you per se. Do you get what I mean? So just pay attention. You. But it could very well be something that you've come in contact with. Secondarily, when it comes to sugar itself, like we're talking about like soda, for example. This is one of the things I discovered recently, today. I was craving a Coke. Don't know why. I don't drink sodas, right? I do every now and then, like I'll have a sip, put it in the refrigerator, put it back. But I don't drink them with any sort of consistency. So today I was craving a Coke and I'm like, what is happening with me right now? And it dawned on me that, there's something. I've come in contact with something. And so what it made me do though, is to combat that, I grabbed a kombucha, right? And this is the one, these are the ones that I like. So it's a couple different ones that I like. So this is the one that I grabbed. This is not a paid promotion, but what's the name of this company? Health Aid. But if you want to holler at me, you definitely can. But I do really like these. So this one is Tropical Punch. Interestingly enough, does not taste like Tropical Punch, at least not the Tropical Punch that I grew up drinking. But in any event, this helped to actually satisfy what I was experiencing because I wanted actually the taste of the carbon. That's what I wanted. I wanted the carbonation, right? And then once it actually hit my stomach, I realized that, oh, no. Your gut biome actually needed balancing. And that did the trick. So now I'm not craving soda anymore, right? So I just wanted to make this video. That was just a real life example that just happened like 30 minutes ago. And I said, I need to share this with folks. Because sometimes we don't really understand all of the different dynamics of everything that we encounter. Because remember, we are beings of energy. So everything that we consume is energy. And energy just simply, we all know that energy doesn't die. It simply changes states. It alters states. And so if everything that you consume is energy, it's affecting you in some kind of way. And this is not to be like, overly, let me see, what's the word that I want to use? This is not to cause like fear, panic, like all kinds of, whatever kind of stuff with folks, but just to make people aware. like I said, this is something that this is what I do every single day. I, make different herbs and tinctures and all sorts of things using natural remedies for stuff. And so I'm always I'm mindful of these things and how they affect my body, because I pay attention to my body and the way that they affect my body. So then I can tell people how they affect the body, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you all know that. I hope that helps somebody out there. I know, oh, one other thing I wanted to say too about the standard American diet too, is that, if you pay attention, a lot of people, like for example, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so what ends up happening, right, is when you stick to the standard American diet, which is very, like I said, it's very high in sugar. So if you stick to the standard American diet throughout the year, by December or by the cold winter months, what ends up happening, this is when you've heard of what is called seasonal affective disorder, right? That's when a lot of people start to experience mood changes, things like anxiety, depression, suicides tend to go up around that time. Again, pay attention. The standard American diet makes you sad, right? And then if you consume that diet of, fear and, craziness and, all this, you consume this stuff day in and day out, day in and day out. By the time you get to December, if you haven't actually replenished your life force energy, by the time the winter is here and the sun isn't out, what ends up happening is you end up sad or depressed or dealing with seasonal affective disorder, right? So prevention is better than cure. Start now. Balance your gut biome, get you some probiotics. Kombucha is a probiotic, right? So that's what's good about it. So, you can either do, I do, what they call P8. I think they have like 14 billion, active cells or something like that in it. Or active, what is it? Little things. I don't know. So I can't think of the word right now. It's escaping me right now. But in any event, so I do a probiotic every day to make sure that my gut stays balanced. Cause I don't eat, I have a normal, at least normal for me, a normal diet, but I make sure that I include lots of things like fruit and vegetables, because like I said before, when it comes to those winter months, this is why they call it the winter blues. All of those antioxidants that your body needs to build up during the months where you don't need it as much, or any times that you don't need it, when you need it, you don't have it, right? And so you want to make sure that you build up those blues before you get to the winter, so that you're not dealing with the winter blues, right? So one of the ways that you can do that is adding blueberries, blackberries, eggplant. I do like lots of like rose tea. I have a tea on my website that's called Majesty. It's actually a blue tea that's made with butterfly pea flowers. So and I also have an antioxidant tea on the website that's made with like rose petals, petite roses, rose hips, things like that. They're very, very high in antioxidants. So all of these things will help to make sure that you have a plentiful amount, as we talk about this on Jupiter Day, right? That you have an abundant amount of antioxidants in your body, so that your brain health is sufficient, and that of course allows the nerves and the blood flow and all of these things to function the way that they should. So if you have any questions, you can DM me on my website at www.consciouscreations.live. There you can pick up teas, herbs, oils, tinctures, body butters, all sorts of things. But I love you guys. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you on the next video.